welcome back to Master 79. In this lesson we take on ielts speaking part 1 topic 22 arts. We will brainstorm every question together and then deliver a complete band 9 speaking performance. Here are the 4 questions the examiner asks on this topic. Do you like drawing, and why? Do you want to visit an art gallery or museum? What are the differences between old and modern arts? And do you want to be an artist? Pause the video now and try answering them yourself before you hear our version. Part 1 is scored on 4 criteria, each worth a quarter of your speaking band. Fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. Notice that none of them reward the truth of your answer. You may invent whatever makes the best English. Every strong Part 1 answer follows the same shape. Answer, reason, example, extension. Answer the question directly in your first 3 or 4 words. Give the reason immediately because that is the step most candidates skip. Add one concrete detail from your own life. Then extend with a contrast or a small qualification and stop talking. 2 to 4 sentences, roughly 20 to 40 seconds. Question 1. Do you like drawing, and why? On the left, the ideas. Say yes, but admit you are an amateur, because honesty sounds natural. Give a starting point in time. Then explain what drawing actually does for you. On the right, the language that carries those ideas. Notice these are collocations and phrases, not rare single words. Here is the band 9 answer. Listen for the 4 moves. Honestly, I do, though I'd be the first to admit I'm no good at it. I took it up during lockdown, mostly as a way to switch off from screens, and it's stuck with me ever since. What I love is that it forces you to slow down and actually look at things. You notice details you'd otherwise walk straight past. So for me it's less about the finished sketch and more about the half hour of quiet that comes with it. Question 2. Do you want to visit an art gallery or museum? This is an or question, so the examiner wants you to handle both halves and then commit to one. Be enthusiastic, be specific about a real place, explain why galleries appeal to you, and finish by choosing. The band 9 answer. I'd jump at the chance, actually. There's a contemporary gallery that's just opened near me and I've been meaning to get round to it for weeks. I find galleries oddly relaxing. You can wander at your own pace and there's no pressure to have an opinion about everything. If I had to pick between the 2, I'd probably lean towards a museum, simply because I'm a bit of a history nerd and I like the context that comes with the objects. Question 3. What are the differences between old and modern arts? This is the hardest question here because it is abstract. Signal that it is broad, then narrow it to 2 clear differences. Intent and access. 2 well-developed differences beat 5 shallow ones every time. The band 9 answer. That's a big question, but I'd say the main difference is intent. Older art was largely commissioned. It had a job to do, whether that was glorifying a monarch or telling a religious story, so technical skill was everything. Modern art, on the other hand, tends to be far more concerned with ideas than craftsmanship. A piece can be deliberately rough, or even unfinished, if that's the point. The other obvious difference is access. You once had to be aristocracy to see a great painting, whereas now most of it is a phone screen away. Question 4. Do you want to be an artist? A no is perfectly acceptable at band 9 provided you develop it. Say no to the career, give a real reason, then rescue the answer with a yes to the hobby. That contrast is what lifts it. The band 9 answer. As a career? Probably not, if I'm honest. I've got enormous respect for people who make a living from it, but the financial insecurity would keep me up at night. That said, I'd love to keep it as a serious hobby. Maybe get to the point where I could sell the odd piece at a local market. So I suppose my answer is that I want the creative side of an artist's life without gambling my rent on it. Here is the full exchange in one piece, questions 1 and 2, exactly as it would sound in the examination room. Read along and pay attention to where the sentences break. And questions 3 and 4. Notice that no answer runs longer than 5 sentences, and every single one contains a reason. These are the expressions that did the heavy lifting. Learn them as whole chunks, not as individual words. A collocation used correctly scores far higher than a rare word used awkwardly. Five things that will hold your score down. Answering in one word. Reciting memorized phrases which examiners hear constantly and discount. Turning part 1 into a 2-minute speech, which belongs in part 2. Repeating the question word for word to buy thinking time. And chasing rare vocabulary until the collocation breaks. Why this performance sits at band 9 against the public descriptors. Fluency and coherence developed fully with only rare self-correction. Lexical resource, idiomatic language used naturally. Grammatical range, a full range of structures, consistently accurate. Pronunciation, effortless to understand throughout. One important caveat. This rating reflects our own internal quality check against the publicly available ielts band descriptors. It is not a certified examiner score. Now it is your turn. Record yourself answering "Do you like drawing and why" in under 40 seconds using answer, reason, example, extension. Post it in the comments and we will give you feedback. Subscribe to bmaster79 for the next topic. Good luck in your examination.